Good morning and welcome. Picture Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. And once again, I hope it finds you well out there. Well, it was Michigan. In case you sports fans, they are the national champs. We get ready for the Masters coming up this week. And, I guess baseball, right? There's some baseball, basketball's wrapping up. As far as the pros getting ready for the playoffs. So there is some distraction out there. We got Artemis 2, right? Did a drive-by around the moon. But we're all waiting for tonight. Right now, it looks like it's going to happen. Like there's going to be no deal. We've started bombing universities. We bombed Karg Island again. Did not hit the oil. At least that's what they're saying right now. But they bombed some more military installations there. And according to the Iranian media, all diplomatic communications with the United States has been suspended. So there you go. There's the latest there. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Be ready to buy gold and silver tomorrow. I think it's going to go down. I don't say that very often, but I think now, of course, you watch, it'll go the other way, right? But the trend has been, as this thing escalates, right, gold goes down, silver goes down, I think it's going to be a huge buying opportunity. We'll get to that in a little bit. Tomorrow, I want to remind everybody, obviously tomorrow we'll have to talk the markets. We will talk a lot of Texit in the next couple of days. I'll just say this, a couple of things. Big call tonight if you guys are going to pay attention to that. If you've been watching Bobby's calls, and I mean big. So stay tuned. I'll give the details to it. A lot of changes, and I think all for the better, are coming. Last week we told you about some huge progress made in mining. As everybody has seen, the mine very consistent now. We're running pretty much at max. You're seeing it in the daily coin distributions. The price isn't going anywhere yet. Don't panic. Don't worry. It will. There's so many things coming. We're just let it be what it is and take advantage of the lower pricing, and then you're going to see some things coming down the pipe. But we've been mining Lite and Dogecoin for a week now. So we're just past, though, like I think, 7 o'clock this morning, maybe it was 6 a.m., something like that, we hit one full week of mining. I want to give you guys the details. We mined $22,500 of Dogecoin. We got 25 blocks of Dogecoin. Each block right now is worth about $900. A little over $900, but call it $900. Then we also mined in the last week 14 Litecoin blocks. Each Litecoin block's worth about $330. But all told, we mined over $27,000 worth of Lite and Dogecoin, about $3,875 a day. The month between 116 and 120,000, really close. Let's just call we're going to produce a profit of around, and I'm going to go high. I know that we said the utility cost, the power bill, $70,000 a month. Let's make it 80. Just put some sand in there. That's $40,000 a month that the mine is making. We have not one, not two, not three, but 4 more mines ready to come online. Hope to have some more intel on that. I know we made a big software update and it went very well. Software update, so when those come on, we'll be ready for it. That essentially, right now we have 2 mines running. You know, if you just say, okay, well, wait a minute, now we're going to have 6 mines running. Now we're talking, upwards of $120,000 a month. And remember, we're just waiting on one part for the Victoria mine. Now, the Victoria mine probably won't come online till August. But a lot of good revenue that's not even priced in anywhere. We just started it. But things are rolling. But big, again, I want to highlight this. Big changes. I think here's what's going to happen. I think 80% of you are going to love it. 10% will be like, I don't know, whatever. And the other 10% is not going to love it. That's probably what it's going to be, because that's how I felt. I think all good things come in, so be prepared for that. But when we get back, listen, we'll update you on what the markets are doing. What can we expect? We did get some economic data out today, so we'll talk about that as well. Yeah. I will have a special out there, and I'll heat it way up, and then you guys can decide what to do. We'll be back. We're back here, 800-951-0592. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to get you great opportunity in silver and gold. Then you guys can decide, because usually this is how it goes. When I tell you, I'm positive this is what it's going to be. It usually goes the other way. So you may want to stick your toe in the water today. Right now, the Dow's down 450 points. The S&P's down 70. The Nasdaq's down 330. The 10-year note, 437. So here we are. We're going to go back above that 440 level. Crude oil up $5 right now, $117.50. Unfortunately, the price is irrelevant because I'll get to that later. The premiums now, the United States, the oil companies are record over the spot price that they are garnering for oil. So here's what's happening really in the markets. The paper markets say what they want. Now, let's look at Brent. So if you want some good news, I'm going to give you some good news. Brent, now remember the Brent contract, that's a June contract, where the NYMEX is a May contract. So they're worried, May, you're going to pay a lot. You want to lock in oil today for May, you're going to pay $117.50. If you want oil today, this is kind of the problem right now. Let's just say you want U.S. oil today. West Texas intermediate crude to a record high now of $30 to $40 a barrel above the benchmark. You heard me right. $30 to $40 a barrel. So we're talking 150, 160, somewhere in that range. You could lock in at 117.50 for May. But if you go to Brent, it's only at $111.36 right now. So everybody, here's what the oil market is saying. We're not pricing in the worst case scenario yet. We're getting close. Let's wait and see what Trump does. Does the president say hit the oil facilities in Iran? will the Iranians hit oil facilities in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Dubai, all the places? Nobody knows right now. So if you're thinking that the answer to either one of those questions is yes, you're buying Brent crude today at $111.50, and you're buying every barrel you can. Because if they actually hit oil, because here's the problem with hitting oil infrastructure. You blow it up. You don't get that back online, right? That's not like, Hurricane so-and-so came through and the refiners got shut down, the oil wells got shut down, and a week later, they're back open, right? 2 weeks later, they're back to full production. It doesn't work that way. You blow up Karg Island as an example. It'll be years. Yeah. And that's if you just go all out before that comes online. So right now, here's what I'm telling you. What it looks like the paper markets are pricing in right now is there will be a major escalation in the war tonight, but they won't hit the oil. They'll take the power out. They'll blow up the bridges. They've been hitting the universities. And the thought is, and what Iran has been doing is, whatever you hit of ours, we'll hit of yours. So if you don't hit our oil, we won't hit their oil. We talked about the petrochemical plant that Israel hit yesterday. Well, guess what Iran did? They hit Saudi Arabia's petrochemical plant this morning. If they're wrong, well, you get the idea, right? We'll see prices that nobody wants to see. Right now, again, like I said, the Dow's down a little over 400. Gold's down $7. So wait. Sorry, up $2. The gold market and the oil market are saying the same thing, which is, okay, we're going to go with the best case scenario. Well, I guess the new best case scenario, right? There's something's going to happen tonight, but they won't hit the oil stuff, and hopefully Iran won't hit oil stuff. That's where we sit right now. So gold's up 2, silver's down $1.87. And as I said, record premiums right now. They're talking about, listen to this. So in Dubai, traders are now saying there have been offers of up to $40 a barrel above Brent for August delivery. So see the disconnect here. I'm telling you about a June contract of $111.50, and then the actual markets are like, well, you want to guarantee you get your oil? How about you pay us $40 above that price, and we'll get it to you in August? So that's what's happening in the actual physical market. So we've got, and we've seen this with gold and silver before. You normally don't see too much of this in the oil and the other commodities markets unless stuff like this, right? We saw it when the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We saw that, right, on certain things, right? We saw it in wheat. We saw it in fertilizer, right? Well, here's the paper price, but then if you actually want it, right? Wait a minute. Oh, you actually want it? Well, here's a new price, and that is that is kind of what we're looking at. Remember, Thursday and Friday, we get the inflation data out. We'll see how that looks. Obviously, everybody's expecting it to be high. The question will be how high. And unfortunately, the problem will be is we kind of expect now the next whatever that number comes in at. I don't know what it'll come at, 3.3, 3.4, whatever it's going to be. We know the next print will be even higher. That's kind of the, I think right now is how far above 4 is it going to be? We did get durable goods this morning. It was mixed. The headline number down 1.4% month over month. Most of that was Boeing, less, aircraft. Core durable goods up 0.8. Unfortunately, most of that, I don't mean to laugh about it, but most of that was the stuff that we were making just cost more. Not necessarily that we were making more stuff. So we'll call that mixed. That was pretty much the only real big economic data point that was out today. And then a warning. And this one is going to be, one other, used car prices are now at the highest point since the summer of 2023. So apparently more expensive gas, more expensive car price. I guess maybe that makes sense, right? Are you going to go buy the big gas guzzler or are you going to buy a car, right? So maybe that's why. That's obviously another inflation point we weren't hoping for. The airlines are now starting to warn not just about price, saying that the cost of jet fuel has doubled. The closure is choking off supply, mostly of, and when we're thinking about jet fuel, now we're talking about refined products, right? I don't care about the oil itself when we're talking about jet fuel. Only certain refineries all over the world can make jet fuel. That's just how they're designed. Some refineries make gasoline. Some refineries make jet fuel. Some refineries, hey, I make some gasoline, I make some jet fuel, I make some heating oil, right? But I only can make so much. And the airlines, we're already seeing this in Asia and in Europe, that airlines are now eliminating flights, not because they can't sell them, because they're worried they won't have the fuel to fly them. Of course, that just means, right, ticket prices go up. In the U.S., we produce a lot of jet fuel. So that's one of the things that bodes well for us. Not as exposed as badly as the Asian and European markets, but United CEOs, his name's Scott Kirby, says that most, which they have the most, I guess, Asian service of all U.S. airlines, saying they're going to cut flights, saying that it's not impossible that airlines would have to reduce service all over Asia and into Europe, but said because of the shortage, saying that there's not enough refined capacity, so the fuel price prior to this and going forward is going to get significantly worse. And saying that the United States is susceptible to supply weaknesses, mainly in the West Coast, of course, right? Of course. Apparently, and let's blame California, right? I'm sure some of those refineries they shut down. So he's saying, be ready. Anything could happen, and we may. How would you like that? your flight's been canceled today because we ran out of jet fuel. Yeah, that would not be good. Yeah, all right. There you go. You're up to speed. And again, I'm thinking that there will be a pullback here in gold and silver because of whatever happens tonight. However, I've been proven wrong before, right? Usually, right, what does it sell, the rumor, buy the news? I don't know. If they don't hit oil, if neither side hits oil, is that a rally? It looks like it might be. I don't know. Crazier things have happened. When we get back, we'll give you an opportunity to buy at very, very low premiums. 800-951-0592. Gold is now up $5, $46.55. Ready? $20 Liberties, $46.95. And Saints. If you want Saints, you can have Saints. I don't care. $46.95. So $40 over spot. Silver right now is only down $1.50. We'll take $1,000 off a case of silver today. $39,750 for a case of Silver Eagles. If you want to buy rolls of Silver Eagles, $1,595 for individual rolls. So you're going to save $5 a roll buying it by the case. But that you're talking about less than $80 either way. Less than $80 on Silver Eagles today at 800-951-0592. By the way, just saw this. Checking a bag at the airport now. $45 for the first bag. Remember when they used to be free? First bag's free, $45. $55 for a second bag. Don't bring a third bag. $200. $200 to check that third bag. So, by the way, I don't know if you saw it here in Arizona. Diesel here, $6. Over $6. California, over $8. The West, we're going to have the highest gas prices, the highest jet fuel prices, and the highest diesel prices in the country. And it's all about refining, the lack of it, and essentially California just shutting them down. Well, I shouldn't say that. California just passed regulations where the refiner said, okay, we just got to close it, right? We're not going to operate and not make money, so they closed them all down. So believe me when I tell you, please don't hit anything oil-related today. Please. I don't know that we will or won't. We'll see. And I don't know, who knows what the Iranians will do. In other news, we had another ally. Well, I don't know, maybe not so ally anymore. Another country repatriating gold out of the United States. This time it was France. 129 metric tons repatriated back to France. Now, France didn't keep a ton of its gold here. They did repatriate a lot of their gold in the 60s, but they still had gold in New York. They repatriated it very quietly, and the reason being is, word is France asked for their gold back. Now, this gold, apparently the gold that they had stored there was not refined to the standard that is accepted today. Okay? Kind of interesting. Kind of like a lot of our gold, right? Technically, our gold, if it's still there. Now, you would imagine, okay, so if it's not refined to the quality that the markets want, you would think we'd have it, right? I mean, right? Apparently, now this is unofficial, the United States either A, didn't have it, but either way, the United States just said, hey, how about we wire you the money? We're not going to ship you the gold. We'll just wire you the money. So France said, sure, go ahead and wire us the money. And by the way, we want you to wire us the amount so we can buy the refined gold, the same amount of gold. We want you to pay. So when you have 129 tons of gold that doesn't meet the purity standard, it's worth less. That makes sense, right? And instead, we paid France like the gold that we were storing met the standards. France turned around, bought that gold on the market. It ended up booking a profit from it. I only bring it up for two reasons. Look, here's another, right? Everybody is bringing their gold back home. Nobody trusts the United States any longer. And then you run into these weird things where it makes me question, and I hate, we shouldn't have a question as to how much gold there is, how much silver there is. There should be no question about how much oil there is, how much wheat, how much corn, how much cheese, right? You can tell me how many cows we've got in the cattle herd. By the way, drought, food prices are going to be ugly second half of this year. But the one market nobody really can tell us is this gold market. Silver market, we're finding out. And don't you worry, silver bugs, right? I know silver always gets abused. Believe me, there is no silver out there. Be ready. As soon as this war thing ends, the move is coming. But I find it interesting because one of the things that I always thought was, well, a lot of our gold isn't refined. It doesn't meet the standard to sell it on the COMEX or sell it on the exchange in London. It's not pure enough. So it's probably sitting there. And now, Jason, I see this, and France said, hey, by the way, what a great deal we just got from the United States. The gold that we had there didn't meet the standard, but we got a capital gain of $12 billion. Thank you very much, U.S., because we were able to buy higher purity gold in replacement of the less purity that we had. Now that makes me wonder, is our gold even there then?
Well, at least it all got purchased in dollars, so I guess America got something.
You're right. Yeah, good point, touche. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Again, $20 gold pieces, $46.95. I mean, gold could be down probably $150 tomorrow and be $46.95. It may not be. I don't know. It's weird, right? The whole thing is weird. I think this is going to be, did the oil get hit or not? Blowing up a power plant, one thing. Blowing up a bridge, another thing. Blowing up some universities or petrochemical plants. Is oil going to get hit by either side? That's going to be the question. If it's not, we could see much higher prices tomorrow. I don't know. I'm just looking at what the markets are doing. But $46.95 on $20 gold pieces. Save $1,000 on a case of Silver Eagles, $39,750. Rolls of Silver Eagles, $1,595. So buying the case, you save $5 a roll. By buying, so you save $125 if you buy a case. That's 500 ounces. But either way, you're paying less than $80. Less than $80. Spot silver is $71 and change right now. So that's like no premium at all, really. When you think about half of this year, the silver premiums were like $8 and $10 over spot, right? Then we had to get our retail on it. So now much lower premiums and being able to buy, we're like 6% over cost. How's that? That's pretty good there. 800-951-0592. But then again, if oil is hit, right, everything, who knows, right? I don't know. I'm confused just like everybody else is. Saudi Arabia now saying if you want its crude, is now trading in the cash market at an all-time record high. So we just told you about Texas crude, $30 to $40 over what the paper price is. Saudi Arabia, $25 a barrel over the Brent prices. By the way, that is a new all-time record high. The previous high, $10. So, Jason, the battle for oil's on, and if you actually want it, you got to pay a whole lot more than what the paper price is telling you.
Yeah, we really haven't seen any we haven't really seen the real effects of this yet. The ships that are bottlenecked at the Strait of Hormuz, the ones that were going through on a regular tilt, the ones that got out, let's just say February 27th, right. The last ships got through. Most of those ships haven't even quite got to their destinations, or they're just getting there now. Okay, so we're just getting to the point where there's not another ship coming behind it. And then there was still the whole idea that there was a bunch of ships, all over the world sitting in the oceans waiting. So it just seems like they need to get a little more war before they can decide to put an end to it. And but I don't know, Joe. Is this price gouging? Is this as they're trying to get through a glut, but also trying to inflate things? Is this just price gouging and using the news as a reason to charge more? Because it sure seems like it.
It's probably something where here think about, pick a country. You're China, you're India, you're Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, you're Germany, France, England, right? And you're sitting there going, okay, what do we do? Because as Jason said, hey, listen, we got the last of these ships that we know are coming have either came or they're essentially ready to get there.
Yeah, it's almost done.
Right. We don't have ships after that. Do we want to pay the U.S., Saudi Arabia, whoever has oil that doesn't have to go through the strait? Do we want to pay the price to make sure we've got the next shipment coming? And you know what's happening? Most of these countries are about, okay, what is the least amount we can buy and not have to tell people? Look at South Korea today. They're telling everybody, stop driving, right? Don't use gasoline if you don't have to, right? Japan's in the same boat. And this is the problem. And again, nobody is pricing in all of a sudden, take Iran as an example. We take out Karg Island, that's another 1.5 million barrels gone. You know they're going to hit Saudi Arabia if they do that. Could we lose 8 million more barrels of oil a day in 24 hours? I mean, then it'd be insanity, right, Jason? At that point, there is no oil to be gotten, with the exception of what you got Russian oil. I guess you got U.S. oil, Venezuelan oil. There's some, but I don't know. I'm just glad. Like I said, we're the most fortunate of all the countries, probably. I wouldn't want to be. What does South Korea do? What does Japan do? What does China do? How much of this stuff do you buy just to try to make sure that it's going to come? And then if you buy it from the Saudis, how can you guarantee that it's actually going to show up?
Wouldn't just someone building some new refineries in non-war areas be the answer? Shouldn't somebody be trying to make that decision?
Who's the refiner builder? You would think that guy, whoever he is, right, that CEO's phone should be ringing off the hook. Why do I get a feeling we don't really have that?
Not allowed, maybe? Not allowed. False scarcity.
800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Dow's down 450. Pretty much where we started the show. Everything's down. The 10-year note, actually 436 and change, so a little lower. NYMEX crude for May. And again, none of these prices matter. Oh, wait, you got to pay more, $116. Just remember, the West will be hit the worst in this. Diesel over $8 in California, over $6 here in Arizona. Refining less product. That's the issue. Jet fuel. I don't know that we use a lot of heating oil in the West. That's pretty popular back east. But jet fuel, heating oil, diesel, all the supply stuff getting harder and harder. Nothing new here. Haven't seen anything happen to move the needle right now as far as talks go. The deadline, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. Wait. We got a great opportunity to buy the dip before the dip. Right? $20 gold, $46.95. Cases of U.S. Silver Eagles, $39,750. Rolls of Silver Eagles, $15.95. And then we'll wait for tomorrow, right? We'll see what happens, right? We could get a taco, right? There's no saying that we couldn't get a taco here. And then you'll see, as we've said all along, and we see this with gold and silver throughout this whole thing, it's ready to get back to rally mode whenever this thing is finally over. Right now, gold and silver, U.S. Treasuries, any type of people are still trying to get liquid and get money. And I think everybody's hoping for either a taco or, Jason, at least they didn't hit the oil, right? Somehow I feel like that could be a reason for a rally tomorrow if they just hit power plants and bridges but don't hit oil. And if Iran doesn't hit oil, I guess. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Just listen to what you're saying. It's okay. Just listen to what you're saying. Oh, it's okay if we just blow up a bunch of stuff. Just don't blow up the oil, And just look how easily they get you to go down this whole path of how what kind of nonsense this is. And
yeah. I mean, look at gold's up 7.
Yeah, I mean, oil going up and it doesn't at this particular time I don't think helps gold. So we'll see, because I know listen, if they have this so-called end to a war, if that actually happens, then yeah, gold and silver is going to resume. But
right.
Listen, if the war keeps going, we could see prices of everything go down. Everyone's going to sell and take their bag of money and go run and hide because they're worried about some bigger catastrophe. Shelves on the stores go empty and things like that. So it's all it's hard to predict this because we don't know what is actually happening, because I don't believe the stories that anyone's putting on the air. I mean,
right. We don't know. Right. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right, when you really think about
no
it.
Consistency.
Yesterday, Donald Trump was doing a press conference yesterday, and he's like, we're negotiating like the Stone Ages. They don't have a phone. They can't send a text. They can't send an email. He's like, it's like we tell this guy who tells this guy who tells that guy who tells the Iranians, right? I mean, come on.
Something doesn't smell right.